Hey guys, let's talk about Ivory Frances Green. Ivory was born on October 27, 1986, and she's been missing since March 6, 2004, from Utica, New York. At the time of her disappearance, she was 17 years old, 4 feet 11, and 110 pounds. She's an African American female with brown hair and brown eyes. She has a mole on or above her upper lip, a scar behind her left ear, and an H-shaped scar on her shoulder or upper arm. She often wears boys' clothing and may be mistaken for a boy. Ivory was last seen at her home at the A building of Washington Courts in Utica, New York at 4 p.m. on March 6, 2004. She called her mother later that night to say she was coming home for dinner, but she never made it. Ivory has never been heard from again. She was going through a rebellious period at the time of her disappearance and was classified as a runaway for several years. 2 months after Ivory disappeared, Plummer Reed Jr., a distant relative of hers, called her mother and said he was going to tell her what had happened to Ivory. Before he could do so, however, he was shot 3 times in the head, and the call disconnected. Plummer survived the injuries. His cousin, Benji D. Reed, was later sent to prison for the attempted murder. Another man, Marquez Williams, was also charged with attempted murder, but ultimately pleaded guilty to misdemeanor 4th-degree criminal facilitation and was sentenced to time served. Williams admitted to supplying Benji with the gun. Since the shooting incident, Plummer has denied knowing anything about Ivory's disappearance. Ivory may still be in upstate New York, possibly in Watertown, Syracuse, or Auburn. She could also be in the Tryon, New York area. Her mother says it is unusual of her to be out of touch with her loved ones. In 2007, authorities announced they believed she had been murdered. Ivory associated with a number of drug dealers in the Utica area, although she didn't herself sell drugs. It's theorized she willingly accompanied one of these people somewhere and that person harmed her. Investigators believe they know what happened to her, and they think they've already spoken to several people who know her whereabouts. Several of these individuals are currently incarcerated. Her case remains unsolved. If you have any information, please call the Utica City Police Department at 315-735-3301.